Welcome to this episode of Chatting with Stacks. I'm your host, Bill Stacks, and today I got John Palermo.
I go, oh my God, you got all this, you know what I mean? They're stealing, they're claiming more than we took.
So, a
But you
lot of
can't,
them, you said they were inside jobs, so they knew they were going to get robbed, or
no,
or were some of them friends of the people around you guys?
the inside jobs, we had one. It was a manager from a jewelry store. It wasn't necessarily from a house. These were jewelry stores who got the inside job. One we had is this one kid who was a manager and he came to the Mafia, and Steve would get the job for the Mafia and now would join him. But see, Steve had a partner too. Now, he had, divide our time and didn't want me to know him because he was afraid that maybe he would rat him out. His name was Buddy. Now, we had an inside job. It was a jewelry store. We got one that the owner had was receiving like $150,000 worth of loose diamonds. So he came to the Mafia, like a lot of people did back then, because he wanted a take. He wanted part of his cut. So he set it up. Steve was so anal about this. I mean, there's no identifiers. So we would dress in black from head to toe. He didn't want no skin showing, no lips, no eyes. So we had to blacked out mask because he said we're going to be on camera. And we had to wear sunglasses. He says we don't want to show them that we're white, what color we were. We had to wear gloves, black. We're all blacked out. So that's when he cleaned up. I mean, this guy was so good. See, my stepfather used to fence and stuff. Now, we had a ping pong table in the basement. This guy had high volume thieving. We had from one end to the other end of the ping pong table, 3 inches thick. There was jewelry all over it. I mean, you couldn't even see the bottom of the ping pong table. This is the volume this kid had. You know what I mean? He was stealing. He made himself a rich man.
Like
But
Rolexes, diamonds, right?
oh my God,
Necklaces.
stacks, everything, man, buddy, everything. The guy was incredible. He knew his shit. That's why they call him a top thief. You know. Now, Steve, I had to stop because I was getting pissed. I was going to pay my fair share. I was, getting killed, almost got caught. So I talked to Steve and I said, you know what, Steve? Let me try it. Let's do one last one. Let's rob a house where people are sleeping in their beds. I had the balls. Now he
Yeah.
had to teach me. He says, listen, he coached me, goes, there's a lot of weird shit you got to do because the simplest noises can wake up a person. So he goes, go turn the door handle. So I turned it, and then I let go. He says, do you hear the recoil of the door? That makes noise. He goes, now turn the door handle and let slowly through your hands go retract back into position so no noise will happen. I don't want to stuff this door down his rear end because we were doing this all the time.
Yeah.
And he says, now when we walk upstairs, we walk against the wall because you walk in the middle, that's where the wear spots are in the stairs and the floor. Because they'll creak. He said everything's more secure against the wall and against the rail. So here we are like Spider-Man going, we get to the house, but what we did is we make sure 2 entrances were free. So if we had to run out, that's why I like thieving because no guns, you can't carry weapons because that's a double charge. You get
Yep.
caught thieving, then they can charge you with armed robbery if you're carrying a weapon with you. So Steve, we were going through the motions. We creeped in the house and people were, sleeping. The guy has a snoring problem. You could hear him. So we made a little noise. It wouldn't matter. So he tapped me in the back and he pointed. He goes, like, I don't want to go in that bedroom. He wanted me to go in that bedroom. So here I'm crawling against the wall. And guess what I see?
Well,
The most beautiful naked girl laying there sleeping. I'm an adolescent kid. And I said, no, don't touch her. You're a professional thief. Don't touch her. I said, my God, why did you do this to me? So I went there, I grabbed her jewelry, we got out of the house, we
While
robbed it.
she's sleeping in the bed, you're in the same room with her.
Yes, I was crawling on the floor trying to grab the jewelry she had on her counter, on her thing. And this guy had balls, man. He was good. He was good. He was a true professional. Now, the moral of the story with Steve. His name was Steve Garcia, and his partner was Bunny Ryan. And they so happened to be the two thieves who took part in the Tony Accardo's house robbery.
Speaking of that, I wanted to bring that up. Not to be jumping all around.
No, we're gonna go. We'll go with
But
it.
yeah,
That's what.
let's talk about the Tony Accardo robbery.
Okay, now
Because a lot of people don't know. You enlightened me on the whole situation. I thought I knew about the situation, but then you told me what really happened. I'm like,
well,
wow, that's insane.
there's a lot of people out there don't know what really went down with this. You know what I mean? Because not too many people talk about it, knowing the thieves personally. I knew the two thieves personally. Like I said, I robbed the house, so she taught me what to do. And what happened was Tony Accardo, these boys Buddy Ryan, Steve Garcia, they know nothing about the mafia, even though they're considered thieves part of it, they're part of the crew. And the thing with these two guys, they were professionals. They were told convincingly Tony Accardo was retired. He's no longer in the mafia. He's a low key guy now. He's got nothing to do with mafia anymore.
Because he wasn't staying in Chicago area, right?
He was always in Palm Springs. He was always in his retirement home. So Tony Accardo had a bodyguard watching his house. So to lure the body, they knew it. So they convinced these two guys to take part in this robbery. So to lure the bodyguard away from the house, they brought a prostitute with them. The prostitute lured the bodyguard out of the house and they robbed it. So, of course, the story is Tony Accardo got wind of it. He was pissed. And so my buddy Steve was killed. And my family was called. My stepfather's a good guy. But the way they told me, because I love Steve. Steve to me was like a big brother. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the way I was told was so cold. I said, because my stepfather knew what was going to go down. He warned me, he said, don't hang around Steve. Stay away from Steve. Because, he didn't want me, something happened to Steve with me there that I might have put in trouble.
Yeah.
So they told me Steve was found in the trunk of his car, slashed 18 times in his chest with his throat cut. And Buddy ended up having the same ending for taking part in Tony Accardo's house robbery. Since they knew these two thieves belonged to my stepfather, Accardo had my stepfather's hands broken by a hammer. He got off easy, let's face it. Now, Tony Accardo, these guys robbed the house, and under the direction, and I know that he okayed it, was Tony Spilotro. Because my father was part of that crew. And my father did not go rogue. And people who know him out there, he wasn't a wild cowboy. He would never go, past what his bosses would say. So obviously he followed it, and he sent his Steve there because Tony Spilotro okayed it. Now, Tony Spilotro, well, we'll get to that in a minute.
Was there only two thieves that were killed because of this situation?
No, there was five, the history says. 5 of them got killed. Some a little more violent. But as soon as I heard Steve got killed, I was a little boy. I looked up in the sky, Stacks, and I swear to God, it started raining. I said, Steve, I'm so sorry, buddy. What happened to you? and there was rain coming down, and the rain was warm, like the hose. You know how you start a hose, and you feel the heat from the hose. That's the rain was hot, so I thought he was giving me a message. Then the rain started getting cold, and my mother's yelling for me to get in. It's like my life, warm and everything is cold. You know what I mean? It was not a bad upbringing, I can't tell you that. But it was like harsh reality in my life. Living in with the mafia. You know what I mean? The family. So let's get back to the story. Now, after Steve, that goes my career. And Steve, because who else was going to teach me? My stepfather wanted me to get involved. One of my teachers is gone. Now in comes Spilotro. Spilotro were part of the family crew. Everything in the inner circle, we're tight and whatnot. And I fell in love with Michael. He was my biggest influence. To me, he was like a father figure. So we're going to go back a little bit in my childhood because during the relationship with Spilotro, I ran away from home. When I got back, my stepfather was pissed, extremely pissed. He started coming at me with that gangster, you know what I mean? That kind of thing. It was a family issue. So Tony Arcano got wind of this, and he told Spilotro and he told my stepfather, he goes, if you dare touch Johnny, there's going to be effing hell to pay. So, oh my God, the guy came to rescue, you know what I mean? The biggest guy. So he cooled down. So when he cooled down, my parents thought it would be better if I go live, out of the house for a while to cool things down. So I moved out to Las Vegas. Now, I did something stupid over there. I took 3 sticks of dynamite. I walked into the biggest hotel and casino, Hilton Hotel and Casino. And I tried to rob the place.